Good morning, Terrence. Here we are on Saturday, the 26th of May, rainy day in Georgia. This is your favorite alien, and I had to do this video because I finally found out what will relate to you on the way I'm talking about changes and the way our civilization looks at things, and the way you look at yours. And the one guy that tried to get you guys to change and look at the things the way we do was Charles Dickens. And you can see that in his book, A Christmas Carol, or play, if you want to call it that. And I don't mean the Christmas part of it, I mean A Christmas Carol. And there's a line there that says, quote, or paraphrase because I don't have it in front of me. Uh, it says, man's business is mankind. And that is the one line that we took seriously where I come from, and you guys never paid a heap of attention to here. And the way you can tell that is, look at all the starts you had. In 1789, the United States was already underway, and they knew they needed a new government. So they started the Constitutional Convention in 1787. But they forgot the most important thing. What do we do with the people? That wasn't even in the conversation at all. It was states' rights here, federal rights there, people's money here, people's money there, but no regards to Joe Blow and the peasant. You know, the guys that just merely floated along under the radar. No regards for them. And any country that's been created since 1787? No. And this is why you're doomed to failure. How can you run a society on a budget? This is the big question. How can you run it on a budget? We answered those questions 1,000 years ago. You can't, because it creates a lot of problems. And look at all the stuff you put on your Constitution. It's created a lot of problems. Heck, the member states didn't even know what they were getting into. And the states that came subsequently to that were admitted, but what was their reward? What was membership privileges there? The membership privileges, I think, they realize today is, well, we get money from Uncle Sam. But that's not the way to look at it. You got to go back to Charles Dickens. You got to think of what to do with the people first, and then everything falls in place. But you never did that, so nothing falls in place, because it comes back to the people. What are you going to do with those people that have time to protest? Can you imagine all those people that have time to just sit out there and shout? And how about the pundits on TV? I mean, how can you handle that? And you tolerate it. You even think it's normal. Is it normal to have somebody on TV pointing out this, that, and the other? I don't think so, because what are they doing? Nothing. Just like the people that have hedge funds. What do? Nothing. They just steal your money. That's all they do. You know, Bertie and Madoff example there, I mean, and politicians, hey, Tip O'Neill, John F. Kennedy, Warren G. Harding. Those were or the Warren G. Harding especially, he ran a newspaper. What made him a president? Nothing. Just like Trump. What made him a president? Nothing. Just because you're a citizen, you can't run for president. The office requires a little bit more than just Joe Blow off the street. And you guys are finding that out now, 240 some years later? So this is what I'm saying. You go back to Mr. Charles Dickens and that line. My business should always bend mankind. And look at your states. Say Georgia. What does Georgia get from Uncle Sam? Heck, the governor doesn't even talk to the state's senators, which are supposed to represent the state and the federal government. And what are the representatives? They don't represent nobody but themselves. And you got Republicans and Democrats. They don't care about Joe Blow on the street. They care about what they can line on their pockets and what the party wants them to do. Same with your senators. Do they do anything for people? Basically, no. Because you don't even know what Georgia is supposed to be as a member of the United States. What is Georgia's responsibilities and what's the federal government's? You don't know that. And if somebody can tell me, yeah, the Constitution says this, they're lying. The Constitution is a piece of paper that never got any oomph to it. It's been dead for 240 years because nobody bothered to keep it a live document. That's the problem. You don't have a mission statement. The Constitution's not a mission statement. The closest thing to a mission statement you have is a preamble to the U.S. Constitution. That's about the closest statement that you have. And that's not a mission statement. So, you see, Charles Dickens, he wasn't talking about Christmas. He just used that as a background for it. But if you look at the big idea that he's trying to get you is, where's the light bulb, people? You know, I mean, what are you going to do? You created artificial beings as, quote, companies that's supposed to have life. What does Ford Motor Company? Is it a living organism? No. It's made up of different people and parts. But it has living rights, and they supersede the Joe Blows that work for them. So this is what I'm saying, Terrence. No matter where you are on this planet, what happened to looking after number one, which is humans? But you don't even know what human is. So until you figure that out, you won't know. Keep sending your comments. Thanks.